Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. Okay, so today we're tackling a massive historical puzzle. I want you to imagine a message, one that was delivered piece by piece over 23 years, but somehow it was preserved perfectly across centuries. It's honestly an incredible story of human memory, teamwork, and just total dedication. Let's dive right in.
So think about this. How exactly do you perfectly save a massive book before the invention of the printing press? I mean, no laptops, no smartphones, nothing like that. It's a huge challenge, right? The entire Quran was revealed to Prophet Muhammad over 23 years, and preserving it? Well, that meant they had to rely almost completely on human memory and the most basic everyday materials you can think of.
You know, today, if we want to save something, we just tap a button and send it to the cloud. Easy. But back then, appointed scribes literally had to write verses down on whatever they could find laying around the desert. We're talking tree bark, pieces of leather, animal bones, and even flat stones. And after they wrote it down, they'd read the verses back out loud so the prophet could personally verify every single word.
Now, while writing on stones and leather was super important, the ultimate backup was actually the human brain. These master memorizers were called the Hufaz. Basically, these were people who knew the entire text word for word. But right around 632 CE, a massive crisis hit. After the prophet passed away, a surprisingly large number of these Hufaz were tragically lost in the Battle of Yamama.
Because of this huge loss, Umar ibn al-Khattab grew deeply worried, and understandably so. He feared that if more of these memorizers died, the original words could literally be lost forever. So he strongly urged Caliph Abu Bakr to take action. Now, Abu Bakr was a bit hesitant at first, but he soon realized they absolutely had to gather all those scattered pieces of bone, stone, and leather and put them into one single organized master copy.
What's really interesting about this is how they actually did it. They used this incredibly strict, almost detective-like process. Abu Bakr chose a chief scribe named Zaid to lead a careful, four-step verification process. First, Zaid checked his own memory. Second, he got Omar's confirmation. Third, he needed two reliable witnesses who physically saw the verse written down. And finally, he cross-checked the whole shebang with other personal collections. It was pretty much foolproof.
So once this single, meticulously verified master copy was finally complete, it had to be kept absolutely safe. Caliph Abu Bakr guarded it first, then after he passed, it was given to Umar, and eventually it was carefully entrusted to Umar's daughter Hafsa, where it was locked away, totally safe and sound.
But as you might guess, a brand new challenge emerged. The religion was spreading incredibly fast to faraway places like Persia and Byzantium, and a lot of these new Muslims didn't naturally speak Arabic, or they spoke entirely different regional dialects. As you can imagine, this led to a lot of confusion and even some serious arguments over exactly how to pronounce the words.
So the crucial point here is that to unite everyone, Caliph Uthman stepped in. He actually borrowed that original, highly protected manuscript from Hafsa. Then, he appointed trusted scribes to create exact, standardized copies based purely on the original dialect used by the prophet. And to ensure zero confusion going forward, Uthman ordered any other unofficial copies to be destroyed.
Now, over time, scholars did make one helpful visual update. But listen, they didn't change a single core letter. Instead, they simply added little dots and vowel signs which we call diacritical marks. Think of them kind of like training wheels on a bicycle. It was just a simple reading aid to help non-Arab speakers pronounce those unchanged core words correctly.
So, knowing all of this, knowing this incredibly strict, multi-step process, how does it change the way we look at the preservation of history today? The sheer effort put into compiling this text makes its historical journey totally unique. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep asking great questions, and I'll catch you next time.